right. Wait, what Piero's gonna do it, or what's gonna
Nah,
happen?
I'm gonna do it.
All right, go ahead.
All right. What up? This is the Dark Offenders podcast. I'm your host,
my
Bushido
God, what the
Spirit. And we have our co-host here, Mo. And we have a
Yo, what's
couple of
good?
special guests. A special guest.
Look. Just say Mo, and I'll try and do the rest of the
We got to take tape. We got to do. We got to record every single individual word you say, and then put it together.
Listen. This is all you got to do. Listen. When Bush says, "I'm here with my co-host Mo," just don't say shit, and then just have Mo and some special guests. Then Mo says whatever.
Okay, here you go. What up? I got stuck right there. I had a brain fart. Here you go. What up? This is the Dark Offenders podcast where we talk about comic news and the MCU and DCU also, but that sucked right now. But anyway, why I put extra shit on there though? What am I doing?
it doesn't matter. Just keep it going.
Here you go. What up? This is the Dark Offenders podcast. I'm your host, Bushido Spirit. I have my co-host here, Mo.
Yo, what's up? It's Mo. You doing good? And we have some special guests.
Why can I audibly hear you clapping your hands and rubbing them together like you're some kind of player?
We have.
That's creepy, man. How do you know that?
How can I audibly hear you doing that? What's up, guys? It's guys? It's your boy Nino, aka Jimmy, or whatever. Move on from me, please.
We have Josh here. Jason Todd, nigga, what the fuck? This is horrible.
This is horrible.
We have
Yo, Bush, we have to do this one more time. I'll have to call my own stunt up.
Hello?
Keep going.
Oh, I can barely hear your ass. Let me turn my shit up.
Nah, Josh, you far away from the mic? Yeah, you sound alright now.
Yeah, because my earpiece is out. That's why.
Man, fuck that intro. We're not even gonna have an intro. I'm gonna cut all that shit out. But anyway,
no, you don't even need to introduce people. Just say SMH podcast. No SMH podcast. Just say Dark Offenders, and then just be like, okay, we're gonna talk about our first topic and just move into it. Doesn't matter. They don't need to know our names.
Matter of fact, let me just introduce everybody. Nobody says nothing. Fuck it. Anyway.
Cool.
My channel.
Yeah, your channel too. Yeah. Shut up, nigga. Your channel, your shit don't work no more. All right, here we go. What up, the Dark Offenders podcast? I'm your host, Bushido Spirit. I have my co-host here, Mo. We have a couple of special guests. I keep saying special. What the fuck?
Nigga, you Italian? A special guest.
What kind of word?
It's these headphones, nigga. I can't hear myself speak.
What the headphones got to do with you? What the headphones got to do with you?
Honestly, yo, Bush, the way it's set up is if you're going to do it the way we were doing it before, you just need to say we have some special guests, and then you introduce me, and then you just take off pull your headphones back on. You need.
I'm trying to bring, I'm trying to put some sauce on it. I say special.
So what does your headphones? What does your headphones have to say when you say special?
Because I'm stuck in one spot. Like the headphone string is too small. I got my head glued to the microphone. I can't move.
What does that got to say when you say special instead of special?
I can't hear myself.
What does that have to do?
Because nothing sounds right with these headphones on. I can't hear myself, and I gotta. Because I analyze myself when I talk. Anyway,
Bush, just stop to just do it.
Anyway, here you go. What up, Bushido's? God damn it. What up, Dark Offenders podcast, where we talk about comic book news, movies, and everything else. I'm your host, Bushido Spirit. Have my co-host here, Mo, and we have special guest Jimmy JJ. And
don't call me that. It's Nino. What the fuck?
Man, fuck that shit, nigga. You whoever I think you are, nigga. Jimmy
Y'all
JJ.
niggas still in the intro, bro.
And we have Jason Todd here.
That's not my name.
His name's Josh.
Josh.
His name's Josh.
God damn it, Josh.
That's not my name, bro.
You're fucking up everybody's names. Wow.
It don't matter. Long
as we have Jimmy JJ. We have Live Life Otaku. We have Jason Todd.
I love how you said Live Life Otaku in a really quiet voice.
We have we have Studio Period.
What up? I'm about to go.
All right, we have cool LeLouche.
Yeah, nigga.
Let's
The name's ironic because he's not cool at all. Okay, continue.
You know, British dick sucking bitch.
All right, chill out.
This nigga act like he didn't get roasted
order
behind the scenes and shit, trying to have big for the podcast.
Hold on. Order the court. This is how we gonna do it. I'm gonna have to ask motherfuckers to speak like one at a time, like on some elementary school and shit, because I know it's gonna get crazy as fucking here. But Mo is the nigga that's gonna introduce all the topics and shit, and we're gonna talk about them afterwards. But I'll call on you if I want you to speak. Goddamn. Go ahead, Mo.
Cool. All right. So this was announced quite a while ago, but the first topic we're going to talk about is Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man being confirmed to be in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Yeah, we already know that Iron Man has only featured in like the Avengers movies ever since like Iron Man 3 was released and everything, and to have him be in another character's movie as either maybe a main character or a supporting role, we don't know yet. It's kind of a big deal, and I'm just interested in what you guys think about that.
Having not Captain America, Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Yeah, like him, like Iron Man taking a back seat in a movie that he's in. Do you know what I mean? Like the fact that he's taking a back seat to someone else.
I'm just curious.
And
I'm kind of curious, like, cause this nigga said a while back that he tired of doing Iron Man movies, and now all of a sudden that nigga's a hoe. He in every movie now. Is that?
Actually, something interesting that he did was like in an interview recently, he said that he wanted to do Iron Man 4. He'd be down for it.
Okay.
So it's like, he is interested. I feel like at this point, Robert Downey Jr. understands that he's lucky to even have a career at the age he is right now. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
I think what he did was he did that shit intentionally to get a bigger paycheck. Like I don't want to do Iron Man no more. Fuck Infinity Wars. Hold on, Robert. Chill out, man. Let us compensate you for Iron Man, man.
When you came out with Iron Man 1 all those years ago, you was down for this shit. Now we don't create this whole universe.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I feel like it's just like Robert Downey Jr. is just like, damn, we got good directors now. I would have done that movie.
This universe wouldn't be what it is without Robert Downey Jr. He was the catalyst for most of everything that we've seen happen.
Yeah, he was.
I think it wouldn't be anything without Jon Favreau. Like that's like he's half of the reason why.
Obviously, no. I mean, well, then again, if you go even higher up the chain, it wouldn't be anything without Kevin Feige because he's the guy who like really got the ball rolling into the motion.
Well, if you want to be specific, it wouldn't be anything without Stan Lee.
He's gone.
All
Can't even deny that.
All right, Josh, you got anything on this, man? Is that nigga here?
Well, I'm confused. What's the topic?
God damn.
All right. I'll tell you. Okay.
No.
All right.
First
Josh.
First we talk about him as Spider-Man, then it gets to his movie rights. Like, I thought we talking about him.
I mean, okay. Like, I'll explain it. So, Josh, the current conversation we're having right now, what we're talking about right now is pretty much how do you feel about Robert Downey Jr. and how suddenly, like, pretty much what he wants to do has changed. Like before, it was is Robert Downey Jr. gonna come back to play Iron Man in this movie? But now he's taking things left and right. He says he wants to do Iron Man 4. He says he wants to be in a Spider-Man movie. He says he'll be in Avengers 3. Like his entire mind state is completely changing. How do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about having more Iron Man in these movies?
I mean, I think he like all the actors in this universe, they actually became like best friends. They actually like the universe, so they want to stay together. That's the way I see it.
Wait, how do you feel about him being Spider-Man's mentor?
He better not be in the movie for more than 25 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, you wanted to stay a Spider-Man movie and not a fucking Iron Man Spider-Man movie.
I mean, I feel like the only thing that Iron Man is going to do in that movie, in my head, is going to be something like, hey, we need to get Peter to the prom. He can't make it because he had to fight off all of these villains. Get in my car, Peter, or something like that. And he drives into the homecoming doors. That's how I picture it going down, or something like that.
That
That's
nigga
really
drop suit before he do that.
That'd be hilarious.
That ain't that motherfucker like 16? Oh yeah, it makes sense for him to have a mentor because he's young as shit, like 16.
Man, ain't no goddamn shit.
Man, you a goddamn. Get this coon out of here, man. Goddamn, man. I clearly said, well, I didn't finish. You let me finish my words, but I meant 16, man.
It's cool now.
This motherfucker, you cannot misspeak around this motherfucker, though. Like this motherfucker. Anyway, more interesting next topic. Anybody got anything else to say about this? All right, Mo, continue.
All right, okay. So something more interesting that maybe some of you can talk about more is after the success of Daredevil season 2, we've managed to get a Punisher show. I'm pretty sure they had this slated a while ago, not publicly, but I'm pretty sure they knew that the backup plan was if the Punisher was really like loved in the Daredevil season 2 and everything, they would have him have his own show and stuff. How do you feel about that? Do you think they have enough story to tell for the Punisher? Do you feel that John Bernthal could play a main character of a show, even though he was kind of a supporting character in season 2 of Daredevil? And what do you want them to do with the character in the show?
Some people say that they don't believe that a spinoff would really work because they don't know if. Like I don't. I kind of like. I mean, they always say the Punisher is best when he has somebody to work off of. When there's always these two debating sides, so whether or not I should kill somebody. Like he wants to kill people, but the other hero doesn't. Like some people say he's at his best when he does that, but I don't know. I want to see a Punisher movie. I fuck with Punisher. I didn't even fuck with Daredevil this last season, man. Like really,
he stole the show in the season.
Oh yeah. I didn't even care about fucking the dude playing in Daredevil. Like I was like, oh, Punisher all the time. The shit got boring when they went to did all the fucking ninja shit.
Yeah, the best part of the season was that little Punisher arc in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Not even just that. I feel like everything in prison that happened with him and the Kingpin, that was all really good. And the whole like court scene.
And Elektra, I was way more interested in his story.
You know when he starts spazzing out in the courtroom and stuff like that. That was like, okay,
I did it.
Do.
They're like, yeah, I did
it. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it.
I'll kill all these motherfuckers. Yeah, I love that, man.
Is that what you want me to be? Is that what you want to hear? I'll kill him again.
Hey, because I was worried for a little bit there, because I was like, they finna make this nigga soft. And he just came out and had a huge ass outburst, like, yeah, I killed him, and I'll do it again. Like I was like, man, this shit is fire, though. Anybody got anything else to say on this? I think Piro bitch ass dropped out, man.
Damn.
You don't know shit about comic books anyway.
Alright, okay. If I had to say anything about the Punisher show, like, I kind of disagree with the people that said the Punisher is at his best when he's like when there's a hero like to have conflicting ideals. I mean, that's really good, but the thing is that when he always has the conflicting ideals and stuff, it's hard to appreciate the fact that sometimes the Punisher is right. Sometimes, even though what he does is messed up, you know that he is right in a way. And I feel like a show focusing entirely on him will show the viewer that this guy isn't just some crazy dude that kills people for the fuck of it. Like, there's a reason behind it, and he does truly believe he's right. And I feel like that would be good thing to see.
How you think, I was gonna ask you, how you think how does he fit in the whole Defenders thing?
I feel like I'm pretty sure he will at least appear in a scene or something. But like the way I see it is that I feel like the Defenders thing is gonna be like Marvel's answer to what happened in the Civil War comic book. Like, you know, the comic book where they had that scene where everyone's trying to fight and everything, and Punisher tries to join, and they're like, "No, fuck you, you kill people." And like, I feel like that's what's gonna happen with the Defenders. Like, he's gonna try to join the Defenders.
Wait, he tried to join the Civil War?
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck Tony Stark, I hate that nigga." And then the Cap was like, "Nah, you good. I won't take you to that war. You ain't about to join this." So that's pretty much what happened.
Dead ass heroes on your hand. You gonna pop them?
I know, right? But yeah, that's all I really have to say.
Bullet in his head.
All right, go on to the next topic.
All right, another Marvel topic would be, of course, the Russo brothers, the people that directed Winter Soldier, the people that do Civil War right now, are also slated to direct, obviously, Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. But the thing is, the title's changed, man. Like, it's not called Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2 anymore. We don't know what the name is, but it's no longer going to be called that. And, like, the names are in there. Like, we don't know if they're even going to have the Part 1 and Part 2 thing in there to begin with. They might even treat it as Avengers 3 and 4. Who knows? But that's really the question, and I feel as if that kind of hints at the fact that like something behind the scenes might change with Marvel too. Like something like you know the whole thing where they had the Super Society thing where they were originally gonna have Cat Free be another like Hydra themed movie with Bucky and everything like that, and then they changed it into Civil War after they got more rights and everything. I feel as if that might be what happened with this new Avengers movie.
For that, they actually admitted they changed it to Civil War because Batman vs Superman got announced. They actually admitted to that.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, they did do that, and I feel I mean, to be fair, like they had some integrity. They didn't just call it Captain America versus Iron Man. Yeah, I feel like they at least just called it Civil War and stuff.
I know, right?
Yeah. But I appreciate that. Like, also, like I feel like the title change is interesting because like we know this movie is gonna be based almost entirely on like the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, and like I feel as if have they even actually called it the Infinity Gauntlet yet? Like in the MCU, like have they actually said this is the Infinity Gauntlet at any point?
One's brought out. The only time we've seen the gauntlet is at the end of Age of Ultron when Thanos picked it up. All he did was pick it up.
Yeah, and I feel as that makes sense, and I feel as if. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did they talk about any other films except Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh, they talk about the stones. Okay.
They never said the gauntlet. We just saw Thanos pick it up. They ain't nothing with it.
Yeah, and I feel as if it's quite interesting actually. Like I was actually having a conversation with someone. It's like, how would Avengers and Infinity War even really work? Do you know what I mean? Like, would the film start off from the perspective of Thanos trying to get all of the stones, or like how would that work? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because up until this point, it's really just been what's it called? Him like, there's this stone in this movie, and there's that stone in this movie, and he has the gauntlet, but what stone does he have, and what stone doesn't he have? And it's just kind of like that. I feel like that's what part one of like whatever Infinity War is going to be, and like they have to do that. It's pretty interesting that they've set up all of these gems, but they never had him actively pursue her. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. But that's one thing that is rather interesting. Like, we might get 2 Avengers movies. Like, we were going to get one, but they might be 2 completely different films that kind of relate to each other. And plus, it would make lots of sense since there's gonna be other Marvel movies being released in between Part 1 and Part 2.
Oh, yeah, that's what I love about it, yeah.
Well, yeah, Black Panther, I think, is coming out in between then, too. So, look out for that.
I moved before it.
Oh, really? When is it coming out?
Coming out in February?
Yeah.
Is it Phase 4?
The movies that are going to come out in between are Ant-Man, the Wasp, and Captain Marvel. Those are the 2
I must protect
my that's cool. Fucking hell, man. Something interesting. Something we talked about recently. We all know about that new Power Rangers movie that's being released and stuff. And we saw the Rita Repulsa what's a good costume that they had with like Elizabeth Banks and everything. And now they released the actual Power Ranger suits. And we have mixed opinions. What do you guys think about that?
Let me find these goddamn pictures right quick. No, I had them up here. Damn, where the fuck is the Power Ranger shit at?
White Ranger, Tiger Power.
No, y'all keep talking.
All right, how do you feel about it, man? I feel like George said that he likes them. I don't really care for the suits.
I think for a good 2016 reboot for what do you do it? Is it PG-13 or PG? I don't know which one yet.
I'm not sure, but what I do know is with the suits, right? Like when I look at them, they're not just. I don't think, they're shit, they're bad. You know what I mean? I don't think that. But it's just they're very different. You need to understand that. You know what I mean? Like there's we have 2016 Power Rangers. You know what I mean? Like they still make Power Rangers.
93 Power Rangers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. It's just like they have those. But it's like
Power Rangers still going on.
Yep.
Power Rangers
Yeah. You know what else? Nickelodeon's had the rights for a while now, and now Netflix is going to be making Power Rangers. Netflix got the Power Rangers rights now.
Why the fuck is that shit? Is that shit really that good now? Is this like kids still watching?
Bush. I tried watching some of it. Sometimes it's just whack. Like they have a graphite ranger. Like they're running out colors. They have a graphite ranger.
No, but it's the same thing every season. Power Rangers.
Yeah, it is.
It's never gonna get better than Time Force.
The Pink Ranger Black.
Time Force was fired.
Yeah, I'm not. I said it's never gonna get better than that series. That's my favorite.
Oh.
But as far as the costumes go, I like that they going with a more modern approach, making them look better than just some spandex suits.
A bigger budget, a reboot, they look good.
Yeah, like fuck that old shit. That old show was terrible anyway. Goddamn it, they had
their fights.
Oh man, fuck that shit.
Yeah, man. Time Force.
No, man. They had fucking animation and fight scene shit from Japan over to here and shit. Man, fuck out of here.
Man, when that nigga showed up playing that flute and that green Zord used to come out the water, how dare you?
that shit was terrible. Fuck, look. look, I didn't even care about this film, but I mean, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope they really make it. Is this gonna be like a more mature version? Did anybody say anything about that?
That's a good question. Let me actually look at that. I know a while ago people were talking about like having like a PG-13 or some shit like that, Power Ranger movie and stuff like that. But this movie is going in a very different direction. It might very well be that. Let me actually look up. Give me a sec.
You know what?
Power.
Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look it up. Like, I feel as if it definitely looks like it's gonna be a lot more gritty than the other like from the shows, and I feel as if this is really. It's really weird. I feel like having the costumes and changing them is really strange because it's obviously a nostalgia piece. You know what I mean? Like it's for people that enjoyed Power Rangers back then, and they're like, oh look, they're making the Power Rangers movie. Let's go watch that.
Are you sure? Because you just said they have a 2016 version of Power Rangers. Are you sure it's for old audiences?
Yeah, because like if they like you said, like you might have watched Power Rangers when you were a kid, but you don't even know that it's still going on. Do you know what I mean? Like they're out of touch with that. But as soon as you hear the name Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you're like, oh shit, that's what I remember.
Old audiences because it's Mighty Morphin.
Exactly, that's exactly what it is, and it's like,
God.
yeah, and the reason I say it's weird is because
like the Mighty Morphin suits. Like they look like creative versions of them.
I mean, the helmets, dude. Like, if you look at the top of the helmets, they still have like the Tyrannosaurus and everything like that. Like, it's really cool. But I mean, Tyrannosaurus. Ooh. Yeah, but I mean, my thing is the reason I say it's weird is because it's trying to bring in older fans, but then when you look at it, it's just kind of like this isn't what I grew up with, and it's not like for the Rita thing. There's no semblance whatsoever. Like, do you know what I mean? I was willing to let that pass, but it's like the suits look really different too, and I'm kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like, what are you trying to do?
They're upgraded. They're modern. I don't want to see that 1993 stuff anywhere in 2016.
We knew we weren't gonna get that.
Like, I don't mind Rita how she looked, man. She looked kind of cool, man. The other Rita looked like shit. Like it was a random Asian woman.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I feel like you're getting me wrong. Like my thing with Rita's costume is it looks really good. It just doesn't look like Rita Repulsa. That's all I'm saying.
Man, Rita Repulsa shouldn't even look like Rita Repulsa. Like I feel like they did that because they didn't have a budget. And they got their shit.
I mean, also, I feel as if the color palette, the reason is gold and green and stuff. Like I said this a minute ago. Like I feel like they're trying to do something with the Green Ranger in that movie. Because like you know how he has the gold and the green too. I feel as if they're trying to. Mm-hmm.
One thing I am worried about is like these shows going the super dark route because they kind of fucked up with that on Batman vs Superman. You have to keep it. There has to be some sort of light tone to it. So that it won't seem so ridiculous, because the darker it is, the more ridiculous it is, huh?
Yeah, I don't think like it will run into that problem. Like it's still Power Rangers. Power Rangers are still a bunch of niggas in colored suits running around punching people. Do you know what I mean? It's still gonna be lighthearted.
But if they take it so seriously, if they take it too seriously, then it's gonna be completely looking ridiculous. Like it's not gonna, like I don't know.
Also, like something I found really interesting about this movie is that when you look at the actors and stuff, like. The thing with like that was really weird to me is that you would see people do the Power Rangers shit and then they would do nothing after that. Do you know what I mean? Like they'd be in Power Rangers and that's it. And like here, since this is a movie, they're trying to get legit people that are acting to be in these movies, and these people, it's going to be weird to see people that play Power Rangers and have a career after this. Do you know what I mean? Like I was looking at what the Red Ranger is doing right now. Apparently he's an electrical engineer that works in a hospital or some shit. I'm like, what? Like, where did your acting career go, bro? Like, what happened?
The amount of popularity Mighty Morphin had when it first came out, you would think that all those actors would be like stars. Like
I know, like rich based off like all those royalties, man. You got
to think about it. Hollywood likes that. They couldn't act. These people, they were popular, but they couldn't act. And if you can't act, it don't matter how popular your show is. Nobody going pick you up. There's still auditions.
I mean, they were young, man. Like they were young enough for them to be taught how to get better at being. They like I remember. I think the Red Ranger was like 18 or something when he first filmed like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and shit. So it's like,
man.
Yeah, like.
Shit.
So
back in the day, they used to hire your ass for a job and then throw your ass in the trash bin, dog.
So, I just realized that's the easiest job ever, man. Those niggas just need to stand in one pose, and then like the graphic artist does the little transformation thing, and then they have to fight all because they got the Japanese footage. It's the easiest job ever.
I know y'all know Kimberly was sucking dick, right?
So I mean,
wait, in real life or like in the show?
You know what she had to do to get that job, bro.
Oh, get the fuck out! Chill out.
to the cool.
Like you
This
just
nigga,
randomly say she was like, come on, man. Like not every woman that gets an acting job.
Oh, okay. So why they go through 2 different Yellow Rangers, but Kimberly stayed around?
Because the other
What you
Rangers
talking
was
about?
like, fuck this shit.
Kimberly knew what that mouth did, bro.
The other Rangers left. That's why.
Yeah, they were like, man, I got better shit to do, man. I'm trying to get my acting career going. I can't do it with these terrible ass actors.
And how did that go for them, bro?
Hey, fuck it, they tried shit.
Yeah, I have a question, man. Like, you said the Yellow Ranger went for 2 different actors. Did they make her the same character?
No, Slick, one of them bitches died, bro. So Slick fall back.
Oh,
for real? Oh, for real? The Yellow Ranger died?
One of them died. Then the Asian one died.
Died like in 2001.
Oh.
Wait, how old was she?
She about
The Asian
40,
one.
30, 30, 40.
She died like 15 years ago, Bo. Like,
Yeah, man. Like, I feel really, really bad right now.
God damn, how
I'm
she
sorry,
died, man?
Car accident.
Oh, damn.
Come on,
What?
We were supposed to-
Oh, God. I'm about to be racist. I'm about to make a racist. Asians call Steve Jobs.
Stop it.
oh, boy,
Is
she
that nigga Jimmy even here?
Good.
Fuck that nigga. Anyway, move on, Mo. That nigga ain't even here no more.
I know. Okay, I don't know much about this. I watched the movie a very long time ago. Never again. So yeah, how do you guys feel about LeBron confirming he's gonna be in Space Jam 2, and like the fact that they have a director and everything. That film is it's pretty safe that movie's gonna be made.
Wait, who is the director?
I have no idea. Let me actually have a look who's directed. Let me just say this.
Send me the link. You know what?
Space Jam 2,
My
man.
biggest problem with this movie is that LeBron ain't the best player in the NBA no more, nigga. It's too late
Wait.
now, nigga.
You shut up, boy.
It's too late,
Stephen
man.
Curry with the shot.
It's too late.
LeBron, and LeBron is the best actor in the NBA.
Oh, you right about that shit.
Okay,
I don't know, bro.
he the only one that's actually been in a movie before.
True. Yeah, he was in Trainwreck. Yeah, I got it right here. Trainwreck.
And again,
yeah.
Dwayne Wade was in a movie.
Man, I ain't seen
He
that
played
shit.
basketball. Though. He played basketball the whole time.
LeBron basically played himself though.
Okay, he's gonna be playing himself again.
Oh yeah, you right. You true. Yeah, I mean, you got to be right. You right. You right. But still.
Yeah, I mean, so okay. So I found out who the director for the movie is. So it's a guy named Justin Lin. And all I know about Justin Lin is that he's been an executive producer for about 3 of the Fast and Furious movies, maybe 4. But it's like that's all I know. That's notable that he's done. He hasn't really done many movies, per se, and he hasn't really worked as a director.
What's his
for
name
a long
again?
time.
Let me type his name in.
Justin Lin.
Bro, I don't know. Sean Livingston might be the best actor in the NBA, bro.
Justin
He
Lin.
even acting like he can play basketball.
I don't know, man. Shaq was pretty good in Steel, man.
Kill
That nigga
yourself.
Shaq ain't on the NBA no more.
Kill yourself, man. That nigga was horrible in fucking Steel.
that nigga was great. He was legendary, man.
He did
LeBron Jack.
Now, what was that movie when he was a genie?
I do not remember that.
He directed Star Trek Beyond True. Oh, he did True Detective episodes. Okay.
Oh, we talking about the same person? I said Justin Lin.
Yeah, Justin.
Oh,
Lin.
yeah. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
He did Scorpion TV. He did Fast and the Furious 6.
I mean, it's interesting. He did a few episodes of Community too. So you know who else did episodes of Community? The Russo brothers, man. Like, so it's like everybody been doing like Community episodes. So it's like it's pretty cool.
So I mean, this might not be horrible, man. Like, I know Space Jam was horrible when it first came out. You know, in the first.
Space Jam. People love Space Jam. It's a cult classic.
It's nostalgia and shit. But it was bad. Michael Jordan's a terrible, and I hate that nigga, by the way. Like, but I think LeBron could do some shit. Like you said, he can act a little bit. You know, I mean, he has some charisma on the screen. I saw Trainwreck. He was funny in that. And
That was not a good movie.
I mean, Trainwreck was great. What you talking about? The Amy Schumer movie?
The only problem I got is the amount of spray paint they gonna use to keep his hairline up.
You ain't have to do it, son. You ain't have to do it.
He'll get that nigga that Acme paint, dog. That shit gonna stay on forever.
They gonna need a big
Yo,
for that.
Josh.
Get cool, nobody. Get that nigga.
Yo, Josh, they're gonna CG this nigga a hairline.
No, that'd be so funny. There's a joke in it when Bugs Bunny just paints the top of his head.
Oh,
And they
yo,
do
yeah.
that. That'd be the best movie ever.
Yeah, what I'm actually worried about, that boy Bugs Bunny not as popular as he used to be.
That's messed up, man. Like, I mean, like, I remember growing up, there were loads of great, like, Looney Tunes sort of revamped cartoons. You know what I mean? Like, they should do one of those, like
They still
Darkwing
doing it.
Duck.
That boy Daffy was a nigga.
Oh, he Bugs
No, but you know, like, what was it, like, Darkwing Duck was really good. And what was that one where he was a space captain? Do you remember the space captain one? What was that called?
Dodgers. Remember the Tiny Toons? The Tiny Toons.
Oh, that was, Tiny Toons was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good.
They were in school to become Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I low key fuck with Baby Looney Tunes too.
I'm kind of hyped for this movie. I want to see this film, dog. Like just see what they do with it. Maybe it's not so horrible this time around.
Yeah, it might be good. Who knows?
Yo, what's going on?
What up, man? We recording right now, man.
Oh, my fault.
I mean, you can say some shit, but
Indeed, it is your fault.
What we talking about?
well, we move on to the next topic.
Talk about LeBron James and that Space Jam.
No, we move on to the topic.
All right, so okay,
Who echoing?
Let
I
go.
don't know. What?
Fix it.
All right,
What?
go ahead. Move on, Mo.
All right, so next topic we have is that the Flash director has actually quit. He's resigned from the position of being the director for that movie, the Ezra Miller one, the one that people, I don't know if it's really anticipated. I wouldn't even call it that, because he had a really small part in the Batman v Superman film.
Is the dude named Seth Graham?
No, that's not him. Like, I think it was like it begins with a J. Let me actually look up for you. Give me a sec.
Yeah, look
But yeah, the Flash director departed. He says he regrets the decision of ever like signing on for the movie, but he's perfectly fine with working on other Warner Brothers property films and stuff. Like he was supposedly on that Lego Batman.
Mo, goddamn.
Just doesn't.
Your mic fucking up a little bit. Yeah.
Hello?
Just
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so what I was gonna say was the Flash director like left. He says he regrets ever even taking up like the position of director for that movie, but his relationship with Warner Brothers is okay. Like he's still working on other Warner Brothers films. Like he's gonna be working on the Lego Batman movie that they're doing, and I think he said his relationship is good with them. The only problem is he just couldn't do the film. There was too much pressure on it, and apparently there was something to do with like creative vision too, which has been a big problem with Warner Brothers. Like
that's
the direct,
always the case. Like, they don't know shit about comic books, but they always want to dip their hand in some shit, man.
And that's the thing. The biggest difference between like Marvel and DC when they're making their movies is that Disney owns Marvel Studios, but Disney doesn't say, "Hey, we know more about superhero films than you. We're gonna make them." You know what I mean? Like they let Marvel Studios do that shit. Yeah. And the difference is that DC doesn't really have a separate faction to make movies about exclusively for DC. You know what I mean? It's always a Warner Brothers movie. There's no DC Studios or there's DC Entertainment, but it's like that's not really the same thing. You know what I mean? And another thing is I've realized every time something bad happens to DC, a piece of completely incorrect news comes out afterwards. Like remember when Batman v Superman got terrible reviews, and then out of nowhere we heard about the Suicide Squad reshoots.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Yeah, now that's kind of happened with this. We hear about the Flash guy departing, and now there's sudden rumors about James Wan, the Aquaman director, leaving, and it's just like, that was completely incorrect. That nigga was like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm actually enjoying the movie. I think it's going to be really good. And it's just like, and like, people just making up shit for clickbait, man. I don't understand.
That's always the case.
And it's like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm curious, man. Like, do you think these films could be good? Do you think that the Flash, like having no director now and having to look for a new one, is any way going to hinder like the quality of the movie? Do you have any faith in this Flash movie? Do you want to see the Aquaman movie? Just really talk about like it's just a conversation about Flash and Aquaman, really.
You in general.
Yeah, you can say what you want and like.
Hello?
Bacon, eggs, cheese, tomatoes.
That nigga, damn Mo.
Nigga, Mo died.
Just say some shit. Yeah.
That Flash, that's gonna hurt the movie because that movie's set to come out in 2018, I believe. That's 2 years. Yeah, that's gonna hurt the movie because looking for a new director means not everyone's gonna have the same vision as the old director. Aquaman, I've never, even when I was like looking forward to the DCU movies, that's the one movie I was not looking forward to. So I feel like they're gonna focus too much on trying to make him look cool instead of trying to make him likable.
Yeah.
I think that's DC's problem. They try to make their characters look cool instead of just making actual like characters. Like
Yeah, I hear you.
Like how Marvel they made Ant-Man cool. Like he just like they didn't go all the way and say, look, he can do all this cool stuff. No, they made him a likable character. And that's what DC needs to do with Aquaman. Because if Aquaman, he already got the stigma on him that he's a lame ass character.
But they already fucked up. They completely changed the way that motherfucker look. Like it's just
like it's true. But like my thing really is
just by the way he looked, I knew they was going in that direction. From the first picture I saw, I said, "Yep, they're gonna try and make him look cool." That's their whole thing. They're trying to make him look cool.
Hey man, but Josh, you got them shoulder tattoos, man. Like you so cool right now with the shoulder tattoos.
No, he's not.
But going back to Flash, I think they fucked up when they casted some random nigga, man. They should have got the dude from the TV show.
They don't want the TV show and the movies. I mean, look, I've read somewhere while I was listening to a podcast, and they said that there's still a possibility that the movies and the TV shows could possibly cross over with each other because DC is known for doing multiple crisis events. And they could just do one big ass crisis event later on that just combines both universes. So I mean, it's still possible, but I would have preferred to use the guy from the TV show.
Yeah, man, because I don't see. Like I said outside the podcast, man, they just don't want both them shits to fail at the same time. They trying to see if this work and separate this so this won't affect this. Like, no, motherfucker, just go in balls to the wall and try to do the best you can. They being safe and risky at the same time, man. Like
my problem is, I mean, my thing is that the like DC have had these characters for years. They've always had Aquaman, and Aquaman's always been the guy that people made fun of. And just like because you give him tattoos, and just because you cause Jason Momoa and give him like blonde highlights and shit, and give him like, you know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't just suddenly take away all of the other history. The only way you can really get people to think he's cool is them to be like, oh yo, you trying to see that Aquaman movie? That guy's so lame. And then when they watch the movie, they find out that he's actually kind of an interesting character. Like, that's how they've kind of always done it in the books. The way it works is, like, people in the comic books will make fun of Aquaman, just like people that don't read Aquaman make fun of him. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're aware of the fact that
the police, they be like, character. Oh, God, Aquaman's here. The police be like...
Yeah, like, you read, like, you read the New 52, like, Aquaman. Like, there's an issue where that nigga's at a restaurant eating fish, and like, one of the people was like, oh, you eating your friend? And, like, what's it called? Like, and then that nigga's like, they're not my friends. Like, come on, the fish. And then like, I just like how they play with the idea. Like, I think there's also this scene where people are making fun of him because he's Aquaman, and they're like, oh, what are you gonna do, man? You gonna call some fish? And that nigga makes like 3 sharks rise from the sea, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a cool power. You know what I'm saying?
Aquaman is a cool ass. I never understood. I mean, maybe it's that gay ass suit they gave that nigga. But look at Superman gay ass suit. Like, so
man, like, to be honest, it's kind of interesting because it's like he owns 70% of the earth, like, because he's the king of Atlantis. 70% of the earth is water. Like, he is pretty much underwater Superman in his strength and everything like that. Yeah, it's just like he's a cool character. The only thing is that whenever you type in Aquaman, you see a picture of him on a seahorse or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
true.
It's always some lame shit that comes in. It's like,
since we already talked about Aquaman, what about the other story with the director Aquaman?
We already talked about that. Like the thing is that he's definitely happy about doing the film. He wants to do it. He actually takes pride in it. But one thing I'm really interested in is, how do you feel about a horror director taking on Aquaman? Like, what do you think?
Wait, did you mention that he said that about Batman Superman? His comments?
Oh, that was a while ago. Like, that was a while ago.
Oh,
As
okay.
soon as Batman v Superman came out, that nigga was like, "Oh, don't worry, man. Our film's gonna be fun." And I'm like, "You're a horror director. That's not fun. That's scary. Like, what you talking about?" Like, I don't know if you know what fun is. Actually, to be fair, he worked on like Fast and Furious, so he kind of does know what fun is. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel as if there is certain things that come with being a horror director. But I don't know if it's necessarily what you'd want to bring to Aquaman. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think that could help, especially with like the Trent storyline and stuff, like deep underwater monsters and shit. Where you
Oh,
can't
yeah,
see
yeah.
nothing. But I don't know. Unless the whole movie's gonna be about that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be cool as hell to see Black Manta in a movie. Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the horror director make that nigga look cool as shit.
I think that would be cool. And I mean, like my thing with the DC universe is that they have some groundwork. Like they have things in this universe that could potentially be interesting. But I feel as if the vision like that they have for this universe isn't necessarily aligning with what people want to see. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
Like,
I heard the perfect theory about this DCEU universe, man.
Go ahead and tell me that.
Somebody said that this isn't the origin of the Justice League. This is the origin of the crime syndicate. We're really on Earth 3.
Oh my god. that's how bad it is. Like, look. This nigga said pretty much what he said. This like the crime syndicate is a complete opposite, like evil version of them from another dimension. So it's like we're just watching the makings of every character we know become villains instead of heroes, and it's just like
that'd be a cool ass twist, man.
I know, right? Like, it's just like, I don't even know, man. Like, I feel like Zack Snyder I feel like he was one kid that read DC but didn't get it. He didn't get that Superman was cool because he's the good guy. He didn't understand that, do you know what I mean? And he didn't get that Batman is one rule that he always had is, I don't kill, do you know what I mean? Like, he just didn't get basic comic book shit. That's the thing that's the thing I don't get. He didn't understand the most basic shit about these characters.
I don't know, man. The way he set up Batman now, if they really do the Under the Red Hood storyline, man, I gotta agree with Jason, man. I see his point. Like, dog, you don't kill everybody but the bird that killed me, dog.
But that's the point, man. Like, it's a Batman movie. You're not supposed to agree with Jason. He's not supposed to be the good guy.
Now you have to agree with him like Batman. He killed everybody but the person that killed me.
I think Zack Snyder fucked up every single thing with this Batman vs Superman. I like. It's gonna be so many inconsistencies now, like with other films and how it linked back to Batman vs Superman. I think he completely fucked everything up, dog. This shit gonna be a horrible universe.
I feel like the Batman movie is gonna be brilliant.
I think it could still be saved. As much as I don't think it will be saved, it could still be saved because Suicide Squad. I pray to God that's a good movie. That's my most anticipated movie of the year. And since Wonder Woman's a period, it takes place in World War I. It has nothing to do with here. What I'm hoping is that they find a new director for the Justice League movie. That's what I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, they got to.
I hope they find a new director for part 2 because like part 1, like it's already too late. That nigga's directing that movie. But apparently, what's happening is Warner Brothers said they're gonna take more control over it. They're gonna make sure that nigga doesn't fuck up a second time because they wanted to fire him. You know what I mean? But they couldn't.
What we got right now is literally this year is Suicide Squad, next year is Wonder Woman. And I think the year after that, what year does Justice League Part 1 come out? I know it comes out right after Wonder Woman.
It comes out next year.
It
comes out near the end of next year.
I mean, they gotta cut that limb completely off, man. That shit got AIDS. It's been affected. They gotta cut the limb off, man. They gotta completely detach themselves from Batman vs Superman. And say it's his own. That's his own thing.
They can't because they killed Superman off. They gotta find a story to bring him back.
Like, you know what annoys me, man? Like, what annoys me is that movie could have been good. I mean, it had potential.
Had all the chances to be good. There was good elements into it too.
And the casting was pretty great. I feel like
we gotta do, Push? Let's do a podcast where we rewrite Batman vs Superman.
Nah, I ain't doing that shit. I mean, everybody has done that shit before though. Rewrote the movie, man, that shit. Like Mo was right. They were right there. They were on the cusp of greatness. They fucked it all up.
No, he fucked it all up.
Oh
No,
yeah, he
they.
fucked.
He.
Nah, the writer fucked it up too. Whoever was the writer for that film fucked it up.
That fucking David Goyer, man.
They had everything. They had the great casting. They had like they have the perfect casting. I don't care what nobody says. They know how to cast. They just
Nah, I wouldn't say that because Lex Luthor and
they know how to
Aquaman.
cast.
Nah, Lex Luthor and Aquaman look like shit. Like I don't know, and Flash look like shit too.
No, I mean, in all his defense, I actually do like the Flash guy. Like the costume looks stupid and the mustache was stupid too. But I feel like, but I feel like that nigga will be a good Barry Allen. That dude, like he's excited for the role. He seems enthusiastic. And that whole scene, remember the little trailers that they played in the movie? Like I did like the Flash one. I did like the one where he stopped at like the guy that was about to shoot up to like the convenience store.
Okay, sure.
That was pretty.
I like
I liked
the
it, man.
cyborg shit the most.
I like Jesse Eisenberg. He just got cast. He was the only entertaining thing in that movie.
He's almost the best cinematic Riddler we had so far, man.
Yeah, he just won Lex Luthor, man.
Had Lex Luthor been a businessman born, that whole movie, I'd have walked out that movie.
Lex Luthor ain't no typical businessman though. He had charisma and shit. He slicks.
He ain't putting no John Wrenches in Nick's mouth.
Yeah, can I just say this, man? That nigga just ring. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just like all the stuff that he would say. It's just like, please shut the fuck up.
All right, man, Mo. It's about that time, man. You got any
At
more,
that time, was that time of the month, Bush?
you got any more news stories, or you just gonna move right into your Civil War shit?
Yeah, I think that's about it. That's all we really have. There's nothing like amazing besides that that's come out. Like, but yeah, we should probably talk about that.
All right, so Mo is over there. I mean, did it air in the UK first?
I mean, like, yeah, it did. Like, it came out. No, not in just the UK. Europe in general came out early. I think it came out in France before it came out in the UK. But yeah, in Europe in general, it came out before America. And I figured out the reason why they did it.
Why?
Makes sense. Because like the logic is, if it comes out in America, right, and America's watching the movie, the rest of the world is like, damn, like America gets to see it, but no one else gets to see it, so they start touring it and like pirating it a lot more. Because like really, it's America versus the rest of the world as far as pirating goes. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
Really?
Americans not seeing it and touring it would be less of a deal than the rest of the world not seeing it than touring it. You know what I mean?
I don't know, because I toured a lot of shit, man.
I mean, you just one man. Imagine all them Asian niggas, man.
Oh man, this is a decision. Mo, I need your help with this decision.
All right.
There's 2 movies on, literally on 40 and 41. Avengers and Dark Knight. Which one do I watch?
Avengers or Dark Knight? Avengers.
All right.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. Dark Knight kind of dark. I mean, that shit. I guess the title is dark.
The reason I say Avengers is because like you about to see Civil War soon, so it's like just get hyped for the MCU shit. You know what I mean? Watch Avengers. Watch while they're still cool. Actually, to be fair, it makes sense because like you'll be watching their first meeting, and then like you get to see like the comparison, like how they were when they started, and like pretty much what it's led to, and stuff like that. Be interesting. So yeah, you should do that.
What you were saying before about releasing it in different areas. People say the reason Batman vs Superman got all released all over at the same time is so people, critics, won't kill it before it came to America.
Oh my god!
You know, they came out in Europe, no critics would have killed it. And America was like, nah, we ain't watching this.
That's the thing. Was like these niggas with Civil War, just like, yeah, we made our movie and we know it's good. Here, take it. And it's just like, as you expected, the reviews were excellent. Like, people say, like, everybody that's seen this film is like, this is the best Marvel movie ever. Spider-Man was great. Black Panther was great. And it's just like, it's just everything you want to hear.
They said that action sequence was the best they ever seen. I know.
Scene.
So let's get right into it, Mo.
All right, let's do that.
All right. I mean, you don't have to really give a quick synopsis. We know pretty much what the film is about. They debating about all the destruction they caused in the other films.
Yep.
But you can sort of set it up a little bit. Don't spend too long on it. But kind of set it up a little bit more than that.
All right. So Civil War is a film that has kind of been led up to like through other films and stuff. Like the entire MCU's kind of been leading up to this. It's a film of conflicting ideals. It's this constant strain in the relationship between Chris, like what's it called, Captain America and Iron Man, and now they've come into conflict like because of their conflicting ideals. Like the film, obviously, the trailer you see, like General Ross like tells them, okay, these different things have happened, all the destruction and all of that, and pretty much Iron Man feels one way and Captain America feels another way, and it's two teams fighting against each other. Not just a physical fight that make for great action. It's also a fight of conflicting ideals. So.
Okay.
If you want to know the ideals of it, it's like Iron Man's fighting for the support of the government. No, we already know this. Like we see the trailers and everywhere.
I know shit.
Chill,
Then
man.
leave the cool. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's an option.
We let him do it.
Just let him
We
do Captain.
already know what they fighting over.
Yeah,
there.
just let him do Captain America and Iron Man.
Exactly. So all it is Captain America believes that the Avengers' hands are still the safest. He believes that the government can support the Avengers in any way they want, but the Avengers shouldn't become a government like controlled group or stuff like that. And Iron Man feels as if that if they have the support of the government, they have the support of the people. So he's for it, and he feels that it's inevitable that the government is gonna try and control them anyway. It was just a matter of time. So yeah, that's really what the two teams are. You already know who the teams are. And yeah, do you have any questions about the movie, Bush? I'm trying to walk around everything.
This is sort of different from the comic book because the comic book was about them showing their identity.
Yeah. I have something to say about that. Really, my thing is that this movie has the feel of the Civil War comic book, but it isn't. It's definitely the best thing about the movie for me is that it uses the MCU to its advantage. It uses the continuity of the MCU. Like, it uses its own history. It's used everything that they've set up in the other movies to do what it did.
Can we, like, are we finally past the stage where we don't care? It's not like the comic book because it's its own universe. The universe is nothing like the comic book universe. Can we stop bringing up the comic books with these movies now? Like,
I mean, that's exactly what it is. Like, people
they
love
can literally
this movie.
make up their own stories from here on out with the universe they set up. We don't need to keep going back to this. I hate when people keep bringing back the comic books. Like, it's not about the comics no more. They got their own history.
Exactly, and I feel as if that's the best thing that the MCU can do. Like, the thing is that as a comic book fan, like if I've read quite a few Marvel books, and it's that if they're just gonna keep adapting stories that I've already seen, that's gonna get boring for me. And the fact that they're doing storylines that I already know and love, but in a way that I'm unfamiliar to, like it's gonna be very fun and entertaining for me because I get to watch Civil War, but I'm not watching the same Civil War that I read years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a film of the same characters fighting for with conflicting ideals and everything, but the context is different, the reasoning is different, and really just the way the characters are presented are different. You know what I mean? Like it's really interesting, and I feel as if, yeah, like you said, like I feel as if like a very interesting one would be like an Age of Ultron. I remember how like in the comics, Hank Pym is the one that creates Ultron and stuff, and like in the movie, they're like Tony Stark created Ultron, and like that makes perfect sense. You can't even be angry about that because
it makes way more sense. Yeah,
because at that point, Hank Pym hadn't even appeared in the MCU. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, why would you have this person that just appears in the movie to create like Ultron? And another thing they want to move away from is like, you know how everyone hates Hank Pym in the comics because like he slapped his wife and did all this other shit.
He was a woman abuser and shit.
Yeah, and it's just like they kind of completely want to move away from that direction. So it's just like it wouldn't make sense to just introduce a nigga just to create Ultron. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's interesting. I feel as if it's a proud moment when you realize Marvel has these characters and treats it as its own universe. It's not just, oh, what we have to do what this book did. It's like, no, we have this that we set up 3 movies ago. These niggas have always kind of disliked each other. You know what I mean? There's always been a strain in that relationship, and we can use that. So it's good. I'm interested in that. Okay, that's a good thing right there.
One criticism of a lot of films like this that have... This was the big criticism for the Superman film, Batman vs. Superman, is they felt like it wasn't really a Superman film. Is this really a Captain America film, or is this an excuse to have heroes battle?
All right, best way.
God damn it, Mo.
Is this movie? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. the movie is interesting because I would never say it's not a Captain America film. It's very much a Captain America film. But it does this interesting thing where it's like, for the people that didn't necessarily like Age of Ultron or thought it wasn't that good, sometimes it's an Avengers movie. Sometimes it's a Captain America movie. Sometimes it's a Spider-Man movie. Sometimes it's an Iron Man movie.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
Sometimes it's a Spider-Man movie. What the fuck? Is Spider-Man that much in the movie?
I'm not going to talk about that. I'll just let anyone that was. I like that. That's something that I can't ruin for anyone. Like, just enjoy Spider-Man the movie and tell me what you think afterwards. Like, I don't want to talk about that. But really, that's my thing, man. Like, it's just the movie does this thing where it's like no one overstays their welcome. The thing that the Russo brothers said about this movie was, everybody that comes into that theater, right, walks into the theater, is showing up for a particular character. There's someone that went to that movie and Ant-Man's their favorite character. Black Widow's their favorite character. Hawkeye's their favorite character. Maybe Scarlet Witch, do you know what I mean? And it's like, they want to make sure that there's at least one or two moments where if any of those characters that appear in the movie are your favorite character, you get a moment that you can talk about after the film's done. Like, you'd be like, oh, you remember when Black Widow did that? You remember when Ant-Man did that? That's how they structured the film.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because I remember when I was a kid and me and my cousin used to pick different characters that we can be. We used to buy separate toys and shit, and we used to be happy to see those characters in the film, but it would be kind of sad that one of us would have a character that only showed up for 2 seconds. And
that's it, man. Yeah, like the best way to put it is, I don't really watch basketball, but it's like you get everybody gets to see their favorite player score. Do you know what I mean? That's the best way I can put it.
Spurs and shit. It's like the Spurs and shit. Okay, I see.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, that's the best way I can put it, and it's like it's interesting. Like also, like another interesting thing is someone that walks into that movie and thinks, "Fuck Captain America, I don't like him," might think, hey, maybe Cap has a point. And someone that thinks, hey, I fuck Iron Man, I don't like his ideals. Oh, maybe he has a point. Do you know what I mean? The film does a very good thing where it's like, anybody can be right or wrong. Do you know what I mean?
That's what a lot of people were saying, and that was the best part about the film, is that you came in with one idea, but you went out the movie completely with a different opinion. You didn't know who to.
Yeah. Like, I was very much anti-Tony the entire movie. And it was just like, no, the entire time leading up to this. And it's like, they all have points, do you know what I mean? Like, that's a well-written movie. Just like they said, someone is going to come into that movie with their favorite character being Iron Man. And they can't just have that nigga, like, just be, like, wrong the entire thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has to have some point to even, like, do you know what I mean? So it's interesting. Like, that's really what I like about it.
I wanted to go back to what you were saying about each individual character gets their shine. So characters like you said, Scarlet Witch are really shining. They really
yes, definitely.
Okay.
Like Scarlet Witch's character is very much developed in this movie and stuff, as every other character is.
So they can So they can lead this movie, and people could want to see the individual films.
I mean, for the most part, yeah. Like for example, like people have been talking about, oh, we want to see a Black Widow movie so bad and stuff like that. It's like, after this movie, maybe, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I feel as if like the Russo brothers are the best people that have at handling her character. Like, they're so good at making like anything with Black Widow in it. Like, if you remember, she was a supporting character in Winter Soldier. Like, they did a very good job with her in that movie, and like they did a very good job with her in this one. And it's like, I guess, you would want to see a solo movie. If not, you would, at the very least, want to see more of that said character. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
Also,
go ahead.
I want to say is, in that, like, people been hyping up that airport fight a lot. All I'm gonna say is, don't blink. Just enjoy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
It's really good.
What about the length? Because these superhero films been long as fuck, and is the length an issue in this film?
I think it's a perfect length. Only advice I'd give to anybody is that as a film like this that has so many new characters appearing and all of these different things that are going to happen, the movie needs to set up a lot of stuff. Do you know what I mean? The movie needs to take time to set up stuff. So as the movie starts, give it some time to find its feet. Give it some time to establish the ideals of every character. Because, like, as a person that watches all of the trailers and looks at all the interviews with the directors, like, it's very easy to assume that everybody knows what's happening in the movie. But there are people that just bought their ticket that day because they see a poster of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like they don't know what the movie's about. So the movie does take time to set up. Okay, Iron Man believes this, Captain America believes this, and this is what the movie's about. And that's why that takes up a portion of the runtime. But there is, like, for me, there was a clear point where the movie just becomes absolutely amazing, and that's pretty much what it is. And I feel as if it's Marvel's longest movie, right? But it's not that longest movie by a lot. It's that longest movie by like 5 minutes, man. Like, it's if you've watched any other like main Marvel movie, you'll be good. It's not that much longer than it.
All right, final question: is this the best Marvel movie so far?
I like the way you phrase that because it is the best Marvel movie ever, but like in my opinion.
Okay.
But I would not say it's the best Marvel. It was the best movie that Marvel's made, if that makes sense. Like, as a film, I feel as if, as far as writing goes, as far as like pacing goes, as far as everything they did, like a very streamlined, clean-cut film, I'd say Winter Soldier is still like the best movie they made. But if you ask me what's the best Marvel movie, the best movie that Marvel's made, the best movie that provides a Marvel experience, this is the best one, definitely. Like, that's the best way I can put it. Like, if you're looking
closest to comic book shit, like the comic book stuff.
No,
like
that's one thing that makes it good. It feels like everything you would want. If you're a Marvel fan, this is what you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got the feeling from this movie that I got like sort of when I watched Avengers for the first time. You know, when you see like all the characters in the same scene together, it's like, oh, this is Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America in one place for the first time. And it's like, I get that feeling a little bit in this movie because obviously Spider-Man and like Black Panther and all these new characters that are introduced in the movie. It's like, yeah, you get that feeling. So that's why, like, Avengers was my number one for the longest time. But then like Phase 3 introduced a lot of movies that I really like too. So,
all right.
But yeah.
Final thoughts, and we close this out, Mo.
Final thoughts is.
Does it have a after credit scene, Mo?
Oh yeah, it has a mid-credit scene and after-credit scene. So stay to the very, very end.
Yeah, cause I know with Ant-Man, I didn't know they had two. I thought they only had one Ant-Man.
They had two.
Wait, you missed the very end one? You missed that one?
Because Age of Ultron only had a mid-credit scene, so I thought, okay, Ant-Man probably got a mid-credit scene. So I saw it. Like,
Age of Ultron pissed me off. I stayed to the very end, and I'm like, damn, nigga, you got me. I stayed to the very end for nothing. But yeah, Civil War has a mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene, so stay till the very end.
Okay. All right, yo, that was a good review, Mo. You didn't spoil anything, surprisingly.
I appreciate it. You tried to tempt me, man.
I was baiting that nigga like a mother. I was finna ask you. I was finna ask him if did we hear anything about Thor or Hulk in this? That would have been a spoiler. But I think we done here, man. Let me close it out. Any final thoughts for any of y'all?
I have a question, like, for you guys, man. Like, is there anything in particular you're looking forward to for Civil War?
I'm just looking forward to Black Panther.
I want to see that boy Captain America get slugged, bro. I want to see his face hit the ground, bro. He got to be hurt. I want him to see her.
I'm just waiting for that one scene we saw in the trailer where Bucky and Cap was just going ham on Tony.
Y'all can whoop on that boy, but just know they whooping on him after he whooped on them, bro.
All right, what's the movie tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm finna watch it. Yeah, this has been Dark Offenders podcast. Hopefully this wasn't too chaotic. I'm your host, Bushido Spirit. We got Mo here. What do I call you, Josh, nigga? thought you wanted a nickname.
You just said, just call him Josh.
Okay. And we have LELOUCHE here. We out.
Peace.